Good morning, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, morning headlines on November 17, 2022. Devastating floods in Nigeria were 80 times more likely because of climate crisis. Trump not first politician to be ditched by Rupert Murdoch. BBC, Trump announces hell run for president again as Murdoch turns on him, and it could be politically expensive for both. The Conversation, Fox and friends really didn't want to talk about Donald Trump's announcement that H is running for president. Dismal turnout for Kari Lake election protest outside Arizona state capitol, live. The Independent, hear what GOP campaign strategist said about Kari Lake after projected loss. CNN, U.S. midterms, Donald Trump-backed candidate Kari Lake loses bid to become Arizona governor. Evening Standard, opinion, Kari Lake told Arizona's McCain Republicans to get the hell out. They did. CNN, less than 20 Kari Lake supporters turn out for statehouse protest against her Arizona governor election loss. Oil falls as Druzhba pipeline reopens, China COVID worries stay at the fore. Reuters, Druzhba oil flows resume as markets see relief, energy latest. Bloomberg, oil prices fall as Druzhba pipeline resumes flows. CNA, oil exports via southern Druzhba seen little changed in November if supplies resume shortly sources. Reuters, oil prices settle higher on Druzhba oil pipeline disruption. The time to grieve is over, it is time to be angry. Iranian police open fire at Tehran metro station and beat women on train. The Guardian, Iranian forces open fire, beat up women at metro station as anti-hijab protests swell. India Today, video, Iranian police open fire at Tehran metro station, beat women on train. Hindustan Times, people run for cover as Iranian police open fire during protest at Tehran metro station. Guardian News, on camera, security forces open fire on commuters at Tehran metro station. China can play mediating role, Macron to visit Xi Jinping over war in Ukraine. The Guardian, French president calls for Russia-Ukraine negotiations, hails Turkey's role. Anadolu Agency, English, Francis Macron, China can play a bigger role in pushing Russia towards de-escalation in Ukraine. Reuters, Macron urges China to play greater mediation role on Ukraine. The Hindu, Macron urges China to take bigger role in Ukraine talks. Alleged Russian torture room uncovered in liberated Kherson. The Guardian, Ukraine war, insider reported Russian army torture site. Channel 4 News, detainees' tale of torture under Russians in Kherson. France 24 English, nearly 1 in 3 Kherson prisoners freed by retreating Russians recaptured, Ukraine says. The Moscow Times, Ukraine war, insider reported Russian army torture site, dubbed. Lebanon, survivors recall harrowing migrant boat disaster. Iran hands out more death sentences to anti-government protesters. BBC, Iran protests, death sentences issued over unrest, is this the start of a revolution? The Telegraph, Iran protests, 4 more people sentenced to death in Iran, judiciary. BBC, kiss goes viral in Iran as more die in protest crackdown. Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, fact check, has Iran sentenced 15,000 protesters to death. Plastic pollution, waste from across world found on remote British island. Milwaukee Christmas parade killer Darrell Brooks sentenced to life in jail after killing 6. Sky News, family, man convicted in Christmas parade crash is bipolar. The Independent, Darrell Brooks receives 6 consecutive life sentences for killing 6 in Christmas parade crash. Rolling Stone, Darrell Brooks receives 6 consecutive life sentences plus more than 700 additional years in prison for Waukesha Christmas parade attack. CNN, man who killed 6 in Christmas parade gets life, no release. World Cup 2022, Iran's turbulent build-up amid violent anti-government protests. BBC, Iran coach Carlos Queiroz refuses to answer questions about the situation in the country. Daily Mail, Sayman Godos, Iran World Cup squad support anti-regime protesters. The Times, Carlos Queiroz backs his players in protests against the Iranian authorities. UK has second highest maternal death rate in 8-country European study. Lula vows to undo environmental degradation and halt deforestation. The Guardian, COP27, Brazil is back on the world stage, Lula tells climate summit. BBC, Brazil is back. Lula draws crowds at UN climate talks. France 24 English, Lula says, Brazil is back, as he vows to reverse Amazon deforestation, as it happened. The Guardian, at COP27, Brazil's Lula vows halt to rampant deforestation. New York Post applauded for Florida man coverage of Trump's 2024 announcement. The Independent, Donald Trump speech live. Trump announces his president campaign. Trump files paperwork for 2024. India Today, Trump's eternal quest for attention has led to the announcement of a presidential bid. The Guardian, Trump used to be a bold truth teller. The Atlantic, Trump's speech rubbed everyone the wrong way, even Trump. Vicky Bowman, former UK ambassador among prisoners to be freed in Myanmar. BBC, former British envoy Vicky Bowman released from Myanmar prison, state media reports. Sky News, Myanmar to free Australian Sean Turnell and Briton Vicky Bowman amid prisoner release. The Guardian, Myanmar releases Australian economist, ex-UK ambassador, Japan's filmmaker. Bloomberg, Myanmar junta to release former British ambassador, Australian advisor and Japan journalist. Ukraine war, billionaire Andrew Forrest launches $25 billion fund for reconstruction. U.S. midterms, Republicans narrowly win back the House. BBC, Republicans win control of House of Representatives in U.S. midterm elections, projections show. Sky News, midterm results, live, Republicans win 218 seats to take House as McCarthy wins initial GOP speaker vote. Chinese President Xi Jinping scolds Canada's Justin Trudeau for leaking meeting details to the press. Sky News, watch live, Xi Jinping scolds Justin Trudeau over leaked talks details, G20 Summit 2022. India Today, Xi angrily rebukes Trudeau over leaks to media about Canada-China relations. The Guardian, G20, Xi Jinping criticizes Justin Trudeau in an awkward exchange. BBC, watch, Justin Trudeau gets a dressing down from Xi Jinping at G20. Ukraine war, Kyiv not to blame for Poland missile, Zelensky. BBC, Zelensky says he has no doubt that missile that struck Poland was not Ukrainian. Guardian News, editorial, the Poland missile incident is a reminder of how wars can easily escalate. The Independent, Russia's relentless strikes may escalate the war, but Kherson shows Ukraine is winning. The Guardian, missile in Poland, China's stance on Russia's war in Ukraine just got trickier. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.